Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Today is, I think, in proximity, the furthest away a guest has been on the show. It's pretty. There is a delay, actually a slight delay, so it's pretty interesting. How's everybody doing out there? How's the year going so far? It's an interesting. There's been some interesting events happening out there. Are people feeling any effects? Let me know. Without further ado, let's bring my guest in. I'm going to ask him what's happening on the other side of the planet. Dr. Hussein Tawfik, how are you doing today?
How are you, man?
Good.
It's an honor to be with you today.
Oh, I'm so happy that you joined. This is really cool. You're in Cairo. That's a faraway place.
Yeah, we're on the two opposite sides of the planet today.
Yeah, talking about good old dentistry.
Exactly.
How are things in Egypt? Let's start there. How's life? How's your family? Let's begin with the good stuff.
Well, yeah, it's good. Actually, it's been a bit tough lately with like the economic things and everything that's been happening. But I enjoy definitely. I've been residing in Egypt for like all my life, here in Cairo, Egypt. I've studied here, have my friends here, all of my family is here. Like we Middle Easterns have this tight bond with the family.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always been good. According to like employability, economics, things like that, it might not be the best time right now, but we just keep going.
Yeah,
that's how it's been.
That it echoes, I think, kind of the same over here on this side of the rock in Vancouver, Canada. We're kind of seeing it. There's, it's just really interesting times. A little bit about your start. Why dentistry? Was it did you grow up like that was it? Let's start there. Your mom and dad. Like I want to hear sort of the beginnings.
Well, it will be. You got me off to a surprising start because my family are dentists. Actually, my mom and dad are both dentists. Yeah. So I grew up. I never knew another job, different to dentistry. Yeah. I've been hooked up on dentistry since day one. Like, I visited my dad a lot of times at the clinic. It was like really interesting for me. The idea of, I like the idea of medicine in general, but also definitely the idea of dentistry. I like this part, like you're directly giving back to the community. You're directly helping people. So this is a great privilege, to be honest. We all think of our careers as something financial, definitely as a priority and stability and everything. But a very important aspect for me is like giving back.
I love that.
And doing something, doing something of value. Not that other jobs are of no value, definitely not. Well, every job has value, I believe in this, but this is the value that I wanted to add. That's the whole idea.
I think the journey is to find our own purpose, right? So,
exactly.
What sort of great? So that's awesome. Your mom and dad were both dentists. Yeah. Were they specialists at all, or general practitioners?
Yeah, no, actually, both were specialists. My dad is still practicing up until now. He's an endodontist.
Awesome. Yeah.
My mom was an oral surgeon, but more like an academic career, more at universities and things like that. My dad has been like combining both ways, on the clinical side and on the academic side. He's actually a dean of one of the prominent universities here in Egypt. So yeah, he's actually been always my role model at this job. So yeah, there's a lot to learn from him.
That's awesome. What are kind of three key things that he imparted in you? What were super important in his mind for you to be successful?
Well, three things, like being humble, definitely. He's achieved a lot. I can say he's one of the most successful dentists here in Egypt. So well known, but never gave me this sense like that you should be carried away or anything like that, but rather always stay humble. And I see this not just by him saying this, but I see it every day when he is dealing with patients, when he is dealing with other colleagues, dentists, whoever that we encounter. I see him doing this always. Second thing is being honest. Being honest, and this has a great value in a profession like dentistry, I think, because we are lacking this right now. That's the only problem that we are having. It has a major impact on clinical life now, on the clinical practice, on dentists, on dentistry. Like, people are a bit lacking honesty. Honesty with themselves and honesty with their patients. Okay, so that's the second thing. Third thing was actually, and I've learned this from him the hard way, which was you always have to keep pushing. Every single day. And this actually happened like one day, I still remember it till now, that I remember like during the first year, I was working with him at the clinic, and there was a day, it was super rainy, okay? Streets were like flooding and everything like that. And I didn't go to clinic this day. And I met him the other day, like he was like, why didn't you come yesterday? I told him like, I thought patients would most probably either postpone or cancel their appointments today. The weather is not so good for a dental appointment. He told me, man, you can never skip your workday because you need to be there, because there's definitely someone who is sick, someone who has a problem, and he expects you to be there. So yeah, that's the most important thing. And ever since, by the way, I never really skip clinical days. I mean, like, yeah, it's just rare, like, yeah, just like public holidays, things like that. But ever since, even if I'm too sick, even if anything, and definitely I can manage to work, I have to go.
It's
been a priority ever since.
There's this illusion of balance in life, right?
Yeah, it's an illusion, definitely.
Yeah.
It's an illusion.
I think
the most important thing with the work-life balance, just like you're saying with the illusion, if you want to achieve so much in your life with work or career, okay, you have to find this fun part in your work, because this time you will find the real balance. But if you don't find it fun at all and it's just work, okay, and you want to achieve a lot at it, something will just like take the upper hand.
Yeah.
You wouldn't manage that. So yeah.
Yeah. What are you like, what challenges have you faced sort of in your first 5 years here in getting started? You know, it's great that you have this great body of knowledge, but there's always these outside factors that kind of present themselves. What sort of challenges did you face getting into it?
Yeah, definitely. Look, I finished my dental degree, bachelor's degree here at one of the private universities. At the last year of my of dental college, I decided like I want to start my own startup. I wanted to get hold of the business side of dentistry. I felt it's really interesting, and let's face it, dentistry is a slow yet sustainable, but it is a slow career. It's not a fast growing career at the very beginning. You will take like 5 to 7 years to establish a name for yourself just to like get going. And I thought, okay, so meanwhile, you wouldn't have the patient flow, you wouldn't have everything, so you can have those some hours throughout your day that I can work on something else. And I thought of starting my own startup. My startup actually was, it was called Dental Pro. It was like a dual app practice management system. Okay. At the time, it wasn't really there, at least in the Middle East. Definitely in USA, in Canada, it was there. Okay. It was like a patient-dentist interfaces, both connected, both integrated, and just like to digitize the whole clinic, because up until now, even clinics here in Egypt are not fully digital. So meaning like the patient filing, the financials, everything, the regulation, and I wanted it to take it to the next step, which is providing business development services. Okay. And I worked on this like for a year or two, starting my last year of uni, and like a year after, but then the pandemic hit. This was a challenge. This was the first challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. The problem was actually a lot of businesses, especially the online businesses, thrived during this time.
Yeah.
But the problem was for something like a practice management software, the huge problem was clinics were shutting down. And if they were not shutting down, then they are working to the minimum of their capabilities. Okay. So they don't have a flow, they don't have anything. So, and also there was like a cloud of uncertainty. No one knew what's next.
Yep.
So no one was really interested to take this step of, okay, we're going to digitize the clinic, we're going to change our filing system. No one was willing to take this step and pay for a subscription or whatever it is. They just wanted to get the work going, and that's it. Okay, just to avoid collapse. It was like everyone was on survival mode.
Yeah.
Okay, no one willing to take any risks or anything. But then, actually, after the pandemic, I went on with it, and actually, I went through a funding round here in Egypt with angel investors, and I secured the deal. But the challenge was, and this was a huge challenge up until now, but I think even if I go back in time to this, I will take the same decision, which was, you have two careers now, you have two jobs, because I was starting to like grow in the dental field, starting to have my patients, starting to have work, appointments and everything. I had to make a decision, either this or that, okay? Because if you want to thrive in something like dentistry, you need it to be full-time.
Yeah.
It's not a part-time thing. That's one thing. It can be a part-time, but at a later stage in your career, when you're an expert. But at the very start, it has to be a full-time thing.
Yeah, it's a grind.
And also having a startup, if you want to grow, and that's the first question any angel investor would actually ask you, are you willing to let go of your job?
Yeah.
And my answer is definitely no.
Yeah.
I'm not letting go of dentistry now, at least.
Yeah.
So I had to pause. It's still there. But no one is working with it. I still have it because I still believe I should be relaunching it someday, but I still don't know when. So yeah, this was a real challenge at a very early stage of my professional career. This was one. So yeah.
Yeah, like you picked two grinds. That is a challenge. They both require your full attention to flourish, yes. Right? Let's dive into this solution that you're developing. So it's an all-encompassing sort of a digital interface. Is a communication piece. Patient could pay for or upload insurance and that kind of stuff to this platform, or let's dive into that.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Here in the Middle East, mostly insurances, medical and specifically dental insurance is not something common.
Right.
Okay. Dental services are mostly not covered. Okay, so those private payments or private patients is the majority. Right. And you can find just like a small chunk going with the insurances. So insurances part was like the second thing on my list. But first thing on my list was I want to maintain a strong relationship between the dentist and the patient.
Yeah.
And as dentists, we definitely know the importance of this relationship. It's not like any other, even medical profession, by the way, because the dentist, it's a lifelong relationship. That's one thing. And the second thing is it's highly retentive.
Yeah.
It's not just like you do something like a minor surgery with something in your body or something like that, and that's it. You'll not visit the doctor once again. But with a dentist, it's always ongoing, with family members, with relatives, with everything. So I wanted to make this relationship stronger. That's one thing. Second thing was I wanted to digitize the clinics, just like I was telling you.
Yeah.
It had a whole built chat in there, okay? Something like WhatsApp to be like a hotline between the clinics and between the clinics and the patients. Second thing was the patients can find dentists through it,
okay?
According to location, according to everything, yeah. And also it worked on the patient education side.
Cool.
The problem is a lot of us as dentists, sometimes we lack the time to educate the patient.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of times actually, and sometimes people don't really make the effort to, even if they have the time. They don't see it worth it. So I felt like, okay guys, I will do this on your behalf. Okay. The app will be generating health tips. They will be generating everything, recalls, everything according to their filing system. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we can maintain a better health, but with the assistance of my app.
Yeah.
So it's not just a practice management, but it was a very good way to like retain your patient, make them always involved, make them taking care of their teeth, everything. Okay, so yeah, it was mostly like that. And on the clinic side, definitely, it was for payments, for patient filing, for everything. You can manage your practice through it.
That's a huge undertaking. That's a lot of moving parts, but like all hyper important. Like I think, you know, the more we move towards this sort of like I see it here in Canada and North America, just the drive for those big ticket, like advertising direct to find those Invisalign cases or whatever. Like, to grow a dental practice, it is all about retention. Yes, it's about acquiring new patients, but it's about keeping them. So I think you're right on it. And the, like, how do you do that? It's how do you keep them sticky? It's that relationship is everything, right? You
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, a huge chunk of our work, I believe 50% of a dentist's work lies within this patient communication part.
Yeah.
And a lot of dentists don't know this, or they will know it after a number of years of experience, is that, and that's actually one of the things that my dad really taught me well, which is how to communicate with your patient.
Yeah.
How to keep him around. Okay, that's the most important thing, while also preserving your rights and your morals and everything, but have your patient around. Okay, communicate with them, recall, follow up, do everything you can to make this patient feel special.
Yeah, and
that's the idea.
And the trust component as well. I think that sort of comes in the humbleness, the honesty, the conservative, approach to giving options as well. The education piece as well. What tools
and what I want to add actually is being patient focused.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing after all.
Yeah, yeah. How do they feel? How do they feel when they come to see you, and how do they feel when they exit the practice? It's that's what's going to keep them coming back. And the education part is that sort of, I need to come. I value this. This is a huge part of my overall health, is to come to the dentist every 6 months for my hygiene. Yeah.
Exactly.
How's your practice currently set up so that you can do that? Like, what sort of technology are you using to have the conversation with the patient? Talk to me about like what you're doing from a marketing aspect to a patient's in the practice, to them, what's their whole experience if you were to, be in your patient's shoes.
Okay, first of all, I focus on one thing, and what I'm going to tell you is my view of things. It doesn't have to be right or wrong, but that's how I see it, and that's how I see it should be done at this stage. Because just like I was mentioning, I'm 5 years into this dental career, maybe 10 years from now, okay, and hopefully we have like patients coming in all the time, my strategy would change. But that's what I can implement for the time being. But first of all, I insist on always having long appointments. Okay, I don't have short appointments because I value the small talk that I have with my patients before the appointment and after we finish. That's the first thing. And I need to ask them like about everything. How's everything going? How's your work? How's everything? And sometimes I even write that. I write it down in their files if there are any specific details that I need to know. Maybe sometimes like a patient tells me my son, his name is blah blah, I might write his name down for this and ask him about his son the next time he comes around. Okay, that's one thing that you do. So first of all is the paying very good attention to the details that patient mentions, having long appointments, not rushing treatment, always giving options of treatment. This is the very important thing that I always implement. I have to give you all options that are right. And I will give you my opinion. I will talk to you about the advantages and disadvantages of each treatment. Okay, I will tell you this is best, this is not, but definitely at some times I don't give the option. Okay, you need to have a root canal, you will have a root canal.
Right.
We are not debating this. Yeah, we're not, and I'm not even debating an extraction.
Right.
You want to extract, and if I see it restorable, okay, I will not extract.
Yeah.
If you want to extract,
that's your dad's voice in your head, hey? as the endodontist, yeah.
A bit, yeah. So yeah, that's how I see it with my patients, and definitely after work, second day after the appointment, I have to follow up. I do it manually. I just send a message on WhatsApp or maybe call sometimes, just like, how's everything going? Even if I was doing a class 2 composite, for instance, I will just ask. It will take me just like a minute to just like write this text message. Hey man, how's everything going today? And that's it. This makes a huge difference with the patient.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's truly like we're human. It's all about how we feel, right?
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to our businesses in the medical service. It's patient focused, patient care, quality of care. What kind of gear are you rolling with? Do you have the intraoral scanner? What do you have? You CBCT? What sort of gadgets?
Not really. My gadgets mainly, we have a scanner, an intraoral scanner, digital radiology, but it is limited to like the plain periapical radiography. No CBCTs, because also I don't really place implants yet. So yeah, and when I need it maybe for endodontic reasons, I might refer to like a radiology center. There is one that's very nearby, so perfect. I refer to it.
Yeah.
It's mostly not too many gadgets, to be honest. I like do it not old school, but I definitely use the latest materials, latest technology to the best that I can, and I still want to upgrade photography kits, soft boxes, ring flashes, and everything, documentation. That's much it. And I navigate my way around it. So yeah.
What's been your favorite so far? What sort of treatment has been? What do you find the most fun?
Actually, I'm finishing now my master's degree in fixed prosthodontics here in Egypt. I just have my thesis left. It's my third year, and I'm finishing it up. So definitely that's my main. Okay, but second most favorite is the endodontics, to be honest. I love it.
Yeah.
I love doing endodontics. Yeah, I really like root canals and everything like that. Until you broke an instrument, definitely. Now you don't like it, or you do a perforation or whatever. So it's referral time then.
Those damn scales breaking. Yeah.
Those are my two favorite, and definitely restorative. I don't think anyone doesn't really like restorative. Maybe they don't find the right skill in it, but restorative is nice, even if it just matters from one person to another, like how frequent you want to do it. But every once in a while, if you have a restorative case, it's nice.
Yeah. How are you finding the folks in Egypt? Do they value oral care? Like, it's interesting here too. It's 60% of Canada goes once a year. Standard of care of obviously is every 6 months. How is it over there?
No, we're far away from this.
Yeah.
If you're talking like, 60% goes once per year.
Yeah.
I can assure you it's like maybe 5% here in Egypt.
Oh, is that right?
No, it's...
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
Most
common patients we have here are like the symptomatic patients.
Right. There's a problem and they're coming to see emergency.
That's the majority. When you have pain, they come. Other than that, they don't. Yeah, but I want to tell you something regarding this. It's also because, especially recently, is because the economic status, like I was talking, is not the best right now. So, and dental services are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So I think part of it is the financial burden people are feeling. So if they are not really feeling pain, not feeling anything that's like not comfortable, eating, speaking, whatever it is, they will not go to a dental visit.
Yeah.
So the oral care, there has been really a lot of efforts to like increase the oral care awareness and everything like that, but it's super slow, to be honest.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Obviously, the economic part, but what do you see improving, the messaging of dental care in Egypt? What's that going to take? And then to the, how many of you guys are in Cairo? Like how many dental practices? Like there's seemingly downtown Vancouver here, one on every corner. How many of you?
We're a lot here, by the way.
Yeah,
we're a lot here. Look, I don't know the number of clinics or practices, but like for now, as for maybe next year, we'll be having like 70 or 80 faculties of dentistry.
Oh wow,
that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. On average, you have like 300 graduates per university.
Right.
So it's a lot. Yeah, but I believe our supply is not so high in proportion to the demand as much as it is. We have a poor distribution.
Right.
That's the problem. But that's a problem with Egypt in general, in anything. As a population, we are oversaturated around the Nile River, and we are leaving all the other parts of the country.
Right.
So it's a problem we have in dentistry, but if you look at the bigger picture, it's a problem with Egypt itself. Sure. So yeah, definitely recently, last 2 to 3 years, numbers are going so high for dentists. A lot of people are changing are making like a shift from dentistry. I personally know like 20 people that did that. They changed from dentistry because we are very high numbers, just like I'm mentioning. It's not so rewarding financially, especially at the start of your career.
Sure.
So they just opt for something else. So yeah.
Do they leave?
There's a lot of competition.
Yeah. Do they leave the country as well? Or are you finding people are spreading to
Europe?
A lot
of people leave the country. A lot of people leave the country, especially to Gulf areas.
Yeah.
Recently, a lot of people go there. Saudi Arabia, Dubai, things like that. Yeah. A lot of people go there. Europe and USA, I think, and the UK are much lesser numbers, but still people go because we are a bit limited on the language side.
That makes sense.
You either need to go to an Arabic-speaking country like the Gulf countries or things like that, or you go to the UK or USA or Canada, like an English-speaking country.
Right.
So yeah, those are the main options. Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of dentistry happening in places like Dubai. Like there's a big draw. Obviously, there's I think the dollars are there.
Yeah, but it's not only in dentistry. There's a lot of dollars in all industries there.
Oh, absolutely.
It's thriving now. Yeah, it's thriving. It's growing. So yeah, there are a lot of projects. It's a hot spot now.
They're gonna have a Disneyland too. Apparently, there you go.
Yeah, they're gonna have everything, I think.
Then there's some sort of like kilometer-long city they are wanting to build. It's pretty crazy. What about for yourself? So, where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years?
Well, let me take it from what I'm doing right now. So hopefully, I'm finishing like my master's degree, and I shift more of my clinical work, to my specialty. I'm more interested in like the functional side of prosthodontics, like the full mouth rehabilitation side, and the reconstruction and building a lost occlusion and functional occlusion, dynamic occlusion, everything. That's something I'm really interested in, and that's something that I really want to dive more into after finishing my master's degree. And hopefully one day I want to be an educator in this subject in specific. Like everything that has to do with treatment planning and functional occlusion and things like that, and planning full mouth rehabs. That's one thing that I want to do. Second thing is I want to like grow or expand my clinical practice. That's something that's so important for me. Third thing, which is actually one of the jobs that I work right now is, I don't know if you know this, but I work at Course Karma with Dr. Ali. I've been working there for like a year now. I work as a dental consultant and a project manager, more or less like a content creator together with dental consultation. I really like it there. I see a lot of potential there. So hopefully in the coming years, I'm still there. I want to help in growing this company to be like, we have big dreams to what we want to achieve. We think we can achieve a lot. So that's another thing. I always want to have this double career. I like the clinical practice side, but I still want to maintain education. So education can be like being traditionally an educator, or it can be doing something like Course Karma. It has to do with dental education. Maybe it can be something that has to do with education here in Egypt, like taking a position, working on continuing education. It can be anything, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Right. And just, it sounds like you have multiple interests, multiple passions. So it's hard. It's hard to choose. There's only so much time in the day, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I always think like that's a message I want to deliver. Actually, is like you need to try all paths. If you don't 100% know what you want to do. Okay, I want dentistry, but what exactly do I want to be doing in dentistry? So I need to go through every path. And let me tell you from experience so far, you can feel when taking a step in dentistry, okay, that it's too far away from what you've been doing. Like, say you are a graphic designer for a dental clinic, for instance, okay? You can think it doesn't add up to your clinical experience, but actually it does. You are seeing things from a different angle. So I've worked on, I'm working remotely now for a CE company, which is Course Karma. I have my dental account, which is Dental Panel, an educational account. I've worked on a startup that also has to do with dentistry, and my master's, everything, it all at the end adds up to me as a dentist.
Yeah.
It's a matter of perspective. You are seeing dentistry from different angles.
Yeah.
So that's the idea here. We all want to be successful clinicians, we all want to be successful dentists, but there isn't a blueprint for that.
There's not.
Every story will be different, every journey will be different. You need to have the end goal in mind, but like try every path. Always go the extra mile, always do what others don't want to do. That's the idea.
Yeah, it's true. And then if you have a gift that nobody else possesses, you should go after that. That's what I believe too.
Exactly.
I think we're all kind of programmed with, what our purpose should be here. If you're not, like, I love that. If you're not kind of exploring that, you're kind of missing out on possibly a part of yourself, part of your own personal growth. That's great. I love that.
And a potential opportunity. You can have a potential opportunity. Let me tell you this as an example. I started the Dental Panel page, okay, like 2 years ago. I started it with one goal, which is, okay, I want to give back to the community. I want to present like an alternative way of dental education.
Yeah.
It's not a replacement for papers, evidence-based dentistry. It's not a replacement for anything. It just complements this with some visuals. I want to deliver some educational tips, but visually, more than just text. Okay, this was my idea. And I started it this way, okay? And I just called it Dental Panel, okay? So let's start on this. I will keep on posting images, and I didn't know what's gonna be the next step. Ali from Course Karma, later on, a year later, he headhunted me to work for Course Karma, which is a company in Canada. And here I am with you in a podcast in Canada. That's something I have never imagined. Like, it's just like, it's a closed network at the end of the day. You are in the same field.
Yeah.
So you will definitely get the benefit. So that's what I'm saying. It's like everything will connect at some point.
Yeah.
But just give your all in every single thing.
I love that. And the dental community is awesome. Like, would you agree? Like, globally, it's such a beautiful place. I think people are for the most part really willing to collaborate. And there are some very talented and very smart people amongst us. We're very fortunate.
I agree. Definitely, 100%. There are artists, I believe, and there are people. When you like read their books or some research papers or like attend a lecture, it's totally different. They see dentistry from a totally different point of view. So it's interesting. I enjoy it so much. Yeah,
the passion is it's infectious for sure. I mean, as a podcaster, as like an interviewer of folks like yourself, my job is so easy. I just get like people talking about their point of view, and it just kind of flows just beautifully. What else is top of mind? Obviously, you were thinking about coming on here, leading up to this. What sort of other, you're a philosophy guy, like is there any other type of thought that's really kind of helped you out through dark, rainy days?
Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah, actually, once you said that, that's something I didn't think about before, but there is something that happened to me, and I can imagine that happens to a lot of people, dental students especially, which is like, okay, I'm the only dentist among my friends. Or I'm the only medical student among my friends. Their uni years will be much shorter. They will land a job much quicker. They will earn a good salary earlier than you, and they won't be studying all the time. However, on your side, everything will be slow. You will be studying all the time. You will have exams all the time. And even when you graduate, you won't really have a job ready for you with a salary. You need to continue on spending, either to like grow, investing in yourself, or like investing in a dental clinic. It can be something like that. So just like you're saying, literally, it's something that made me go through those rainy days. Like, I need to have my own path. If I don't believe in it 100%, I will not be able to go through it. Like, you have to have this, like I'm telling you, you need to like isolate yourself. Don't compete. Don't like compare. Okay, you have your own path. Do not like compare yourself to your friends, to other family members. You have your own path. You want to be a doctor. You want to be a dentist. Let it be. You are doing it for yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you will get the full benefit. And I always feel like hard work will pay off. Definitely. Maybe it's a matter of time. It differs from one person to another, depending on each one's circumstances. But you will reach those heights that you have in mind. So yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta believe. I think like
exactly. And you need to believe.
And sometimes that's something like COVID hits and throws a wrench in things, or anything else that life throws at you. You just gotta keep going forward, and it's tough. Like, I think sometimes the journey's a little bit lonely. Like it's there's a lot of moments where you're driving forward and a week will go by, and personally, like I wouldn't talk to anybody in like a few days because I'm just buried in my work. So that's tough.
100% relates. So yeah. And I think it's been the case for any like dental student. I'm always referring to dentistry because I know how we go through it, but definitely there are other medical medicine in general, or like other jobs that like go through the same thing.
Yeah.
But as for dentistry, the thing that I know, definitely it is tough.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of hard work. Yeah.
What's been your best way to connect
with
your colleagues, with the industry?
With my industry, it's been like I have like a network here in Egypt. Okay, with my classmates that I had during uni. We meet like every now and then. For now, I have other people that are with me in my master's degree at uni. So yeah, we meet a lot. Also, what has been new was with Dental Panel is that I started connecting globally. That's the difference. I started to have a global network. Mm-hmm. Like messaging people, okay, let's do a collab, guys. Let's do a campaign. Let's do whatever it is. But that Dental Panel opened a whole new level of communication for me on the global stage. This was much different. Some people, like a few years back, I wouldn't have imagined having a chat with them, yeah. To be honest. But because, I was like a fresh grad, I didn't like expect it or see it coming. Okay, I will be communicating with those people, and those people would be complimenting me. Okay, man, you are making a real impact in the dental industry or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, that's my way mostly for connecting, communicating. That's much it.
Love it. Yeah, like and again, it lends to that knowledge base that you have, and ultimately your patients, right? That they benefit.
Definitely.
This has been awesome. It's so much fun to jump on with you. I can't think of somebody that's been on the show that's been further away. So it's really cool how small the industry is, isn't it? Like it's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's just like I was telling you at the beginning, we're at two just like opposite sides.
Yeah.
But you will find at the end of the day that like we share the same things.
We do. It's awesome. It really is. It's really it's special. It's cool. I really enjoy it. I want to have you on again. This has been awesome.
Definitely.
Any final thoughts? Anything just kind of stirring in there that you want to get out?
Mostly. Actually, I first want to thank you for having me here today.
My pleasure.
It's been my pleasure, really. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. And definitely we need to be doing it again. And maybe I can pay you a visit someday and have this not remotely, not virtually. We can have it in person.
Likewise,
yeah, definitely. But yeah, the message, my final thoughts on this is, like I said a lot of times during this podcast, which is, always keep the grind on. Just like always keep hustling. You will have tough times. You will have challenges. You will have everything. But what we all have in common is we can work hard. We can push hard. That's the whole idea. Just go the extra mile and make sure, have the belief that someday this hard work will pay off. Definitely in a way or another. It doesn't have to be the same way that you have planned it, but it will be in a way that will definitely be of benefit to you.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, positive energy out. Positive energy out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. I've got the full day ahead of me here.
Thank you, man. Have a great day. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks again.